Hi, I just thought I'd come on here and ramble and let my thoughts unravel as I do so. Because I'm having trouble making sense of some stuff at the moment, and sometimes it helps to just let it out and let the chips fall where they may, I guess. I've been just being very lazy today. Literally just kind of laid down all morning, and now it's, I don't know, like midday. Just, lay in bed all day. Hopefully not. I saw something on an online platform, and it was like, I guess in this group of like men calling out women for stuff or something or whatever, like men, bros trying to support each other or something because I don't know, like bitching about women and stuff. And I don't know, I just sort of like really wanted to understand, like I've seen more of that content recently because like I just want to understand the psychology of how men think. And I realized that they're not all the same. There are decent men in the world, and there are men who want to have a respectful, mutually loving and kind relationship with a partner, a woman. But then you've got like these bros of dudes who, like, I just was kind of aghast. Like I've never for most of my adult life, like maybe when I was single in my 20s and I was going to clubs and stuff like that, like I would see, hear of these attitudes that some guys would have that just treat women like toys, like they're just things to be played with, and like basically like they're not real people with feelings. Like they're just there to use them for pussy and sex and whatever else, not actually to have a mutually respectful bond. And so it just kind of like, I mean, I know that there are guys out there that are like that, but it's mostly like the really immature one. But they were like in this group, like these grown men that were like, it looked like some of them in their 40s and 50s. In fact, one of them, the post that I read, he said he was 40. So that's still actually kind of young, in my opinion, for a man. I think their body matures when they're about 30, and then some men don't mature ever, or some just, when they're quite a bit older. But anyhow, so yeah, the guy that was 40, he was talking about how his girlfriend had started acting shady with him, and like they weren't having sex as often. She seemed like, you know, the energy was off and stuff. And I'm like, that's funny. It's interesting to me to hear it from the opposite sex and talk about that, because I've you know, and he was saying that she was acting how another ex-girlfriend had been acting when he had caught her cheating. First of all, trust and honesty and loyalty, those are like really big things for me. Anyway, but it was just like his attitude, how he wrote about it afterwards was like, yeah, I'm just gonna let her go. And you know, it was almost like he was talking about her as if, mainly like as if he'd been using her for sex. And you know, oh yeah, she got a fine ass, and like, you know, so I'm gonna miss that, or it's hard to let that part go. But there was nothing in there about her qualities, or like how good of a partner she is, or like how, you know, anything else that she does for him, or anything like that besides the sex. And guys in the comments were going like, so one of them was like, oh yeah, I got 5 girlfriends on rotation and another 5 that are on call. So, you know, and then I'm just living my life, and that's the way it's going to be. I'm never going to be in a emotional relationship again. And just, you know, these guys becoming, oh, and some of them were saying like, oh yeah, all American women are for the streets. And I'm like, where do they find these women? Like dating apps or something? And then like, you know, these skanky bitches are just playing their cards, you know, like, I don't know. I'm just like, there's a whole world out there that I don't even know about. And I don't even think I want to know about it. But I was just like, I was reading this stuff, and I was just like, you know, like, you know, just treat them like a hoe, because it seems like that's what they like anyway, you know, because they're just, you know, sleeping around and using men for their money and da-da-da, and like, and then I just kind of went down the rabbit hole on this thing, and I just I started wondering what really goes on inside men's heads. Like, you know, like, what does it mean to them to actually put effort in and, like, I don't know, like, build a healthy relationship? Like, and then I saw this other guy's video, who is actually a content creator, and what do you call it? He's like a, I don't know, psychologist or something. But he makes content about, like, you know, relationships and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. And he's like kind of an older, no, not that old, but he was talking about how he went to Japan to check out the dating market there. And, do a comparison basically of the US market and the Japanese market. And one of the things he mentioned was that he noticed that generally speaking, all the women there were very interested to speak to him. They weren't offended. They weren't they weren't rude or anything like that. They were just very pleasant and polite and that sort of thing. And that they, in their culture, he said that basically, it's like men first and women are second. But the women there, they respect that, and they treat the men with, he tried to hold a door open for one of the women there, and she's like, no, couldn't accept it. And so he was talking about how a lot of men in America or in the West are flocking to Japan because the women in the US or in the West are a lot of them don't have values. They cheat. They're players basically. They're expensive. They expect the man to pay for everything for them, and which I in that other group that I've recently I've been interested to kind of read some of the content, and these men are I'm like, where do you find such low class women that they just one of them posted a copy of a conversation between I don't know if it was a joke or not, but she basically was he'd asked her out to dinner, and so she wanted him to pay for her nails to get done to go out to dinner with him and to buy a new dress or something like that. And I'm just I would never expect a man to buy, on a first date, I would never expect a man to, pay for me to look good. I mean, that's my job, and these women that are I expect you to pay for this, this, and this, and you got to pay for all the bills, and you da da da, and but then I saw this other comment or quote, I think it was yesterday, where it was oh, men would prefer, a meek, shy, polite and quiet woman with zero career ambition and zero accomplishments than have a a girl boss kind of girl who's ambitious and makes her own money and stuff like that. It's just weird. It's just, and then there were mixed reactions to it in the comments. There was a lot of them though were yeah, I'd take, some shy, nice girl over some girl with an opinion and basically anything that would constitute as intelligence or I'm just is that the general? It's just interesting to me because I guess I like to understand people better. And like I said, I know everybody is different, and everybody, you know, just because a lot of people think a lot of different things and believe a lot of different things. I just think the subject of understanding how that leads to different types of behavior in both men and women, in people in general, is interesting. So yeah, I don't really know exactly what I've concluded from all of that, but wow, that was long. There's just been so many things that have made me go like, what? Like, why? You know, with regards to relationships and some things I can't quite wrap my head around why people do the things that they do. Anyway, still learning.